Boom, boom, boom. Steve, you got any sponsors for this podcast?
Yeah. Shouts out to Dos Equis for being $5.99 a six-pack today.
Oh shit. This episode of Just for Fun podcast is brought to you by the most interesting beer in the world for being $6.99 or $5.99 for a six-pack.
Yep.
Bam. We're also brought to you by Naps.
We're also
Just for
brought to you by
fun.
Limes. Because how else am I going to fucking drink this Dos Equis?
Oh, are you putting lime in your Dos Equis?
Yeah, it's the Dos Equis lager, not the amber.
Holla at your boy. You should get into bed. Just for Fun podcast. Alright, so today is Wednesday, May the 8th,
Podcast day.
2019. And as everyone knows, Wednesday is podcast day.
Wednesday is also a day that Steve bailed on plans.
Dude, I'm getting there. Hear me out.
Podcast.
As the co-host of this podcast, I'd like to ask for, while I go pee, I'd like to ask for the floor for a second. Because I'm really fake annoyed, but I'm going to pretend that I'm really annoyed. I talked to Mike on Monday. He called me before I was even home, and I'm like, what the fuck are you calling me for? You should be at work. He's like, dude, I got called off early because there's not a lot of shit going on. I'm like, oh, cool. I get home, we talk for a little while, you know, his little niñas and niños and whatnot come play Minecraft, and we all play Minecraft together, have a good time. I decided not to podcast. We just hung out, talked about shit. Oh, you know, Wednesday's podcast day. We could podcast on Wednesday. Yesterday, he gets off early. No, excuse me. That was Monday he got off early. Yesterday, he had to watch his sister's kids because she had an appointment because she just started a new job. She had like a orientation training thing from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And that 2 p.m. is exactly when Mike is supposed to be at work. So he called his coordinator and he's like, hey, I have to watch my sister's kids until 2, so I can be there by 3 to 3:30. And the coordinator said, you know what, we don't have much going on today anyway, but we would probably send you home by 6:30 anyway, so if you want, you can just take the day off. And he's like, oh yeah, fool. Well, like, if I get there at 3:30 and then leave by fucking 6:30, fool, I mean, it's like only half a day, you know what I'm saying, fool? So, like, fuck it, I'll just stay home, fool. And then here's where he fucked up. He was like, all right, well, if you need me tomorrow, then call me. And then so, oh shit, what's up, Sally Beats? I'm just describing how Mike is a fucking piece of shit and he missed podcast day. I'm going to text him right now. He might call in if he can. So he fucked up. And I texted him this morning. I said, are you working today? He's like, I don't know. I just woke up. I never got another text from him. So I was like, this motherfucker's at work. So I get home, I call him. He's at work. I'm like, what time do you work until? He's like, fucking 10. I'm like, God damn it, Mike. You fucked up, you motherfucker. All because he was like, yeah, man, well, if you fucking need me, then call me, fool. So Mike missed podcast day. And we could have podcasted Monday or Tuesday, but I'm like, oh, no, man, you know Wednesday's podcast day. We'll just do it on Wednesday. And he fucked it all up, man.
Yesterday, anyways.
Well, exactly. I'm just saying, like, so, Mike, I hope you listen to this. Steve, oh, shit, I sent the wrong text. I sent Mike a text that said, we're, instead of saying we're on. I just said we're.
We're raspberries.
We are raspberry. We also started a new pit, and also Mike's nephew was digging on the pit yesterday. Child labor, bro.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, he dug like one layer out. Sally Beats says hi, Steve. But this fucking piece of shit, he fucking missed podcast day. And so Mike, I hope you hear this one day, because you're a piece of shit, because Steve took time out of his life and his plans to rearrange shit with someone he was supposed to hang out with so he could be here on podcast day, and now he's fucking stuck here with me, god damn it. How do you think he feels being stuck here with me all by his lonesome? How do you think he feels, Mike? How do you think he fucking feels?
I told this dude, I was like, hey man, I'm really sorry. I had some obligations I forgot about. And, like, he didn't really get back to me, so I was like, man, I think he's a little bummed I'm fucking not hanging out with him. And I was like, shit. But at least I'll get on and chop it up with Mike and, before God knows what happens with Mike for a little while.
Well, it's not until June something anyway.
And, yeah, but I don't like, know when I'm going to have another Wednesday off. I might have one next week. I might not have one for a while, so.
Yeah.
I was like,
well, there's always he said he was down to do the night shift also.
Yeah. Word.
Sally Beats asks us how we are. I need to go grab a beer to review. So Sally Beats asks us how are you guys doing? So can you tell her how you're doing while I go grab a beer and a glass?
Or you could just take me to get a beer.
Well, I am going to, but I'll fall out. So you tell us how you're doing while I grab a beer, bitch.
I'm doing all right. I went to Atlanta, Georgia yesterday.
Tell a story. Tell a story. I'm in my kitchen. You can still hear me. Just tell a story.
You're not going to talk to me at all? You just think you're in your kitchen and you can't even express words anymore?
Just tell a story. I'm surprised if you can still hear me.
I can still hear you. Yes, I went to Atlanta, Georgia yesterday with Kareen's friends, Mitch and Charlene.
What's up, Mitch and Charlene? Fuck you listen to this podcast.
Mitch kind of reminds me of like a more intellectual Mike Menares. So maybe we should get him on the podcast.
Woo! That's like an oxymoron right now, or right there. Intellectual Mike Menares.
Nah, like Mitch is pretty cool though. He's just like he has some mannerisms that remind me of Mike Menares, but like this dude works for like EA and shit like that, and he like
no shit.
Yeah, he like that new Star Wars The Fallen Jedi fucking trailer that came out. Like he like was like one of the leads on that fucking trailer.
Oh shit.
So like and he's like my age. He's fucking cool. Like he fucking he's from Miami. His fucking parents, when he was like failing out of like middle school, they like sent him to like Mexico City to fucking go to military school out there and shit like that. Yeah, he talks all sorts of shit, but he's also like very. He's got like this very like intellectual mind where I'll say something, he's like, "Man, that's a cool idea. I wonder if I could like, extrapolate that and make that into like something for like VR or like a video game out of that or some shit like that." He's like always just like thinking about the next thing, you know. It's kind of fun talking to him because of that. What?
Better give you some money for your ideas if he does that shit. Did you ask him? Did you ask him about the EA thing with the other Star Wars game that cost him like $3 billion or whatever?
Nah, I didn't really get into it. We were just chopping it up about so much shit, and it was a 7-hour drive to Atlanta, and we went to go see Architects because Architects wasn't coming down to Orlando. And he'd never been, and I showed him a couple songs a little while back, and he was like super fucking into it. And I was like, oh shit, well let's go fucking to the show. And he was like, fuck it, I don't care. So I like bought us tickets back in December, and took the drive yesterday. And dude, he brought like a fucking fat joint, and so we were just like smoking that joint, like a hit every now and then as we were driving, like before the show and shit. And it was just like a great time, but we were just like talking about all sorts of shit. Like, fuck it. We were like, I was like feeling, I was not so stoned that I couldn't drive, but I was feeling like just high enough that I was like, yo, man, we keep hopping from subject to subject without like coherently like finishing a topic about, one subject.
Yeah, did you tell him you have a podcast? Like, that's what we do here.
No, I didn't.
No, I know, I'm kidding, man.
But, yeah, so we fucking drove all the way up there, stopped at this bar in Atlanta. I gotta send you a picture of this car that I saw yesterday, dude. Where's my phone? We stopped at like what was rated like the number 2 beer bar in America, which is in Atlanta yesterday, and we got some food and drinks there. It was a really fucking cool place. But Atlanta's fucking weird as fuck, dude.
Did you see
It's
T.I.?
like, there is so much poverty in Atlanta, but it's like all being gentrified at the same time. So it's like you have like super nice condos, right? And literally like across the 2-lane street, you have a fucking rundown house with like fucking bars on the windows,
Yeah, I believe it, man.
But yeah, it was a fucking great time. It was just like the drive back so much longer because everyone fell asleep. So it was like basically me. Like his girl Charlene kept like
What's up, Charlene?
waking up and falling asleep. So it's like we weren't really carrying conversation because I was like, oh, she's sleeping. Oh, she's awake, and oh, she's sleeping again. So I was just like chain smoking fucking cigarettes, basically keep my ass awake. Not my preferred method, but I was just like, I'm just trying to get home. So basically we left at 9:30 in the morning yesterday. We showed up in Atlanta at like we stopped a couple times, and we got to Atlanta about like 6:30. We got some food and some drinks, and we went over to the venue. We got there like right before Architects went on, and they were the last band. They fucking killed it. Probably one of the best shows I've seen from them. It was amazing. It was so good. And the venue was so incredibly nice compared to the venues that are up in the Northeast, man. Like, it was like a new build venue. Like, it was like everything there was like acoustically treated, looked nice, painting. They had like nice bars. The stage was set up. They had like the speakers systems that they had. You could tell were like newly purchased fucking PA system. Like it wasn't some old fucking cog together fucking PA that is like, some of the speakers have been sort of slashed and shit over time.
Yeah.
So like they sounded fucking great. Fucking venue was really cool. And then we got in a car and drove home, and I got home at 7:30 in the morning.
God damn. That sounds fun, though.
Yeah, dude, it was a trip. And they were cool about it, too. Like, they're like, yeah. They weren't like the kind of people, they were like, like, oh, we regret that this road trip. We didn't think the trip was done. They were like, yeah, whatever. We do shit like this all the time. So, but fuck yeah.
That is crazy.
Anyways, I sent you a picture of that car.
Oh, that was you.
You should check that shit out. It was just parked on the street in Atlanta, outside that bar.
Whoa. That looks like Tony Stark fucked Austin Powers. That would be fucking that car. Like the dude that owns that car would be like the love child of Tony Stark and Austin Powers.
Do you wanna describe this car?
For the audio listener at home, I can't tell what brand. Oh, it's a Chrysler. And
it's a DV9.
I do not know the brand DV9.
No. That's the model.
Yeah, of Chrysler. I do not know this car. But
I don't know if it's a Chrysler, but
it's
anyways.
a Chrysler. I'm looking at the logo on the front of the fucking hood. This car. Oh, I'm more interested in these two hoes that are in the picture over here. What's up, girl? Um, this car is a convertible. It has automatic roll up and roll down windows, but there is the smaller window. It's a two-seat car. There is a smaller window that would be the small portion of the window of the back seat of a car that does not roll down. But I assume that this one looks like it might roll down because of the way that it is not connected to the upper part of the exterior of the convertible of the car. It is very, very highly shiny gold. It's like a
Like
deep
a
yellow
gold
gold.
plated, bro.
It's not like gold colored. It's like a deep, rich gold, metallic, reflective gold.
It looks like if you had gold plated jewelry, basically. Like, that's what this car looks like.
Dude, I'm telling you, that's probably T.I.'s car. But the headlights of the car. No, T.I. wouldn't be caught driving no fucking Chrysler. The headlights of the car are two separate headlights on each side. So there are Dude, maybe they're trying to make it look like the Infinity Gauntlet. That's what it kind of looks like. The Infinity Gauntlet of a car, but there's no one for the middle. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. Like, I would not want that
I just saw
car,
that
but
shit and I was like, man, that is so extra. Like, I wouldn't be caught dead in that. Like,
Yeah.
that's too much.
like, it looks
Hey, you
cool,
got some-
but like, you wouldn't want it. What do you want, food?
No, a couple fucking sticks.
Let's see here. Oops. The fuck were we just talking about? I was going to bring
We're
up
talking
how
about
weird it is how Atlanta could be such a prosperous place, but also have such impoverished community for such a large city. You know, I mean, it is like that everywhere, but everything that I've heard about Atlanta is that it's a predominantly African American city, and most people in that culture are like, we need to all lift each other up. We need to all get over the problems of, well, not only segregation, but the problems of poverty together. But then it kind of seems, and I'm sure there are some people that give back to the community, but there are still like such horrible communities in a place like that, where the overall attitude seems to be like, hey, we need to help each other out, but it just seems like there's still so many people that fall in between the cracks. And, you know, I mean, it's obviously there's some people that just don't want to fucking do work for themselves and they just want a handout from people, but, you know.
Well, so, as I was telling you, my buddy Mitch, he's Latino, and like even an hour outside of Atlanta, like we're an hour outside of the city, which doesn't seem like that fucking far, like outside of a normal city. Well, like an hour outside of Atlanta for whatever reason is like, you know, there's nothing out there. Like there's like, you know, farmers, a couple of sprawling roads, and the gas stations, you know, like
Yeah.
truck stops. And like we stopped at one because I was like, hey, I gotta get gas. You know, get into Atlanta. Like I just fill up my tank, and you know, then that should get us like at least to Atlanta, and then quite a bit ways outside of Atlanta on the way back, where we had to stop again. And we stopped in this gas station, and fucking they were giving Mitch and Charlene, because she's also not like exactly, she's Latina as well.
So she's not white, is what you're saying?
Yeah, and they were like fucking giving them like mean mug stares, like, yo, what the fuck are you doing in our truck stop? I was like, god damn.
I'm contributing to the economy here, you fucking asshole.
Fucking a lot of racism left in Georgia still. But yeah, man, there's the craziest thing that I've never seen anywhere was in Atlanta as we were driving through the streets to get through the bar and then the venue. It was like there was predominantly African American kids are that were selling bottled water that they bought from the gas station that they were standing outside of, like at stoplights. Like they would, like you'd be stopped at the light, and instead of like a homeless guy like walking asking for change between the cars, it was like these little fucking like 6 and 7 year old African American kids like trying to sell bottles of cold ice water out of a cooler they got bought from the gas station.
That's the craziest thing that you've seen, or just in that city?
No, it wasn't the craziest thing that I've ever seen. I'm just saying I've never seen that happening before in any other city.
You see a lot of fucking weird shit in Austin, man.
Oh, dude, I'm sure there's a lot of fucking
like
weird shit there too. I was just saying, for like the amount of time I was there, I was just like, hey, this is something that I've never seen before. It's interesting. Like, I'm sure there it's like very normalized. You're like, oh yeah, these kids just sell water every day. You know, they buy it, they go to the gas station after school, and just try to sell fucking people driving by waters.
Yeah, I bet they fucking do alright too, you know? I mean, a certain amount of people have to be like, damn, man, I feel bad. I'm going to buy a bottle of water off this kid.
Anyways, yeah, so I got home at like 7:30 this morning, and I slept till like 1:30. Watched a little TV. I got up and went to Target with my sister and her fiance. We went and got pizza. I got a buffalo chicken calzone. That shit was banging. Stopped at the liquor store, bought some $5.99 Dos Equis. Came home, and I was like, after eating that calzone, I was like, man, I'm still so tired from making that drive, and now I'm even more tired because I've eaten for the first time in like 14 hours. So I was like, I gotta take a nap. I'm in no fucking spot to hold conversations right now. So, and here we are.
Here we are, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh,
this
hey,
episode 91 of the podcast.
Last time I spoke to you was Saturday. On Sunday, we had this fucking... I told you about those fucking Thai chicken wings I ate when I first moved out here. I don't know if you remember them, but like I told you they were like really, really fucking hot Thai chicken wings. Mm-hmm. Like the homie Anthony, my roommate, like he ate one and he was like fucking 4 sheets red in the face, like sweating, and like I ate one and like I had tears like running down my fucking eyes because it was like just so hot. That place, that dude doesn't have a restaurant. What he does is he has like a team, and he does a pop-up restaurant, and he does one at the bar I work at, and one at this other bar in town. And he kind of just like alternates. He does it like twice a week. Like he comes to us on Saturdays, and then he goes to this other bar on like Thursdays or something like that. And he just spent basically the last time I saw him was the last time he was at my bar when I first moved out here, before I started working there. And then what he does is every couple months he goes to Thailand to work with like go fucking find like new Thai recipes in Thailand from like different like little cultures, and he just goes and visits different towns and stuff like that and learns how to make these recipes. And then he'll come back.
Thanks, guys. I'm gonna take this shit to America and make a killing and forget all about you guys.
But anyways, he just came back.
And, I'm sorry. We're not doing jokes anymore. Sorry.
His food is really, really fucking delicious. And so this last Sunday was the first time he's been back since. And we had a banging Sunday at the bar, but it was fucking crazy because Matt Heafy from Trivium stopped in because he lives in Orlando. Yeah, and he was in Mexico City on Saturday, fucking play into like some festival out there with Trivium. He basically like took the overnight flight back, like landed, I don't know, probably slept on the plane or some shit, but basically within the time that I was like, yo, you played like a show like yesterday afternoon in Mexico City, and then now you're back here, like basically immediately came to the bar to come get this fucking Thai food with his wife and 2 twins. Yeah, anyways, I thought that was fucking pretty crazy.
Did you tell him, like, hey, man, how are you? I saw you at the whiskey in L.A. one time.
Dude, I met him in the Hartford. Like, fucking chopped it up for a second. I'm sure he doesn't remember me, but... I couldn't really talk, though. It was so fucking busy at our bar, and he was like standing in line to get food, and then I like lost track of him. I'm pretty sure he just got food and then dipped out without even getting a beer. So I was like, oh shit, that's Matt Heafy. I was like, but we're so fucking busy, I'm not gonna even go bother him. Just keep working.
So Sally Beats asked us how we're doing, and I'd like to hear how she's doing. How are you doing, Sally Beats?
Hey, I'd like to hear how you're doing, motherfucker.
Sally Beats says me too. What are you talking about, me too? Hashtag me too. I'm fine.
You said you had so much shit to talk about.
I have like a bunch of like little quips and stuff I could tell you about, I guess.
You got no stories or anything fucking going on with you?
Yeah, there's stuff going on. I guess, like, you know, I think the integral part of when we have conversations that's a problem is that when you bring up stuff, I'm like, oh, there's like a side tangent of something that I could talk about, but you're in the middle of a story, and then by the time you're done with the story, I forget what I was going to tell, like, a little side story about. You know what I mean?
They made these great inventions, man, called pens.
Yeah, I have 100 and something.
You can just write shit down when people are talking about that. Like, hey, you had mentioned this, and I just wanted to go out and talk about a side tangent off of this. So I wrote it down.
Anyway,
I'm being serious. Like, I do that shit all the time. That's how I help keep the conversation flowing, so...
Sally Beats says, I'm great. How are you doing, Mark? I'm fine. I need to pee again. It's only been 28 minutes since we started this, and I need to go pee again. Jesus Christ. I don't know, man. Should I talk about how much it rained here today? It rained a lot. It was raining sideways for a little while.
Oh, great. So, 2 days that should hit me?
I had to grab a bunch of lumber out of the back of the truck, and by the time I was done, my entire body was completely soaked. So that was fun, but it was fine because I left all of my stuff in my pockets on the inside of the house we were at.
Nice.
We're building this like badass bathroom. I'll send you pictures when it's done.
Man, you should start bringing a backpack with like an extra change of clothes in it just in case.
I do that sometimes.
I hate fucking working in wet clothes, man.
You said you hate what?
Like, working or just being in wet clothes.
Oh, yeah. It's not fun. I find it, like, worse to be in sweaty... No, excuse me. I find it worse to be in wet clothes than sweaty clothes. Because if I'm sweating, I'm like, oh, okay, fine. I'm sweating. Oh, shit, is Taylor in the house?
Why are you sweating, Mark?
Because I'm a
it's
human.
Fucking hot here, man.
Because I'm a human. Humans sweat.
Because it's fucking hot here. Oh, it's here now, Steve. You've lived in Florida for like 2 weeks.
Taylor, tell us a story so I can go to sleep.
You're going to bed already?
No.
Okay, I'll tell you a story about...
fucking boring.
about a little bitch boy named Mark Hoffman who goes to bed before 9 p.m.
Oh, so Sally Beats, yes, there are lanterns in Minecraft now. Anyway, I know I was kidding. Tell us a story. Well, there's three people here now, so I can do news stories for you guys at some point. And I can also do review a beer at some point. What's up, Taylor? How are you?
Oh, excellent. Can I get a yet? I'm doing all right. So the last 2 days have been pretty hellish here at the Thompson house. I don't know if you know anything about sewage ejection pumps, Mark. I don't know if you guys do any of that sort of contracting.
Are you talking about a sump pump?
Yeah, sort of.
Okay.
It's a pump that funnels the water and the waste from the second floor bathroom and the downstairs bathroom that hasn't been put in yet. It's got an impeller in it, so it's supposed to shred toilet paper really finely so that nothing gets stuck.
Oh yeah, that doesn't work.
I don't know.
Taylor's our friend Sally Beats. Our friend Sally Beats says hi. By the way.
What's up, Sally? You guys figure out if Sally's a dude in rural Michigan named Chuck, or
no? She's a woman in Canada. She's a woman in Canada named Cheyenne.
Cheyenne.
What's up,
Cheyenne Beats sounds way better than Sally Beats.
Would you shut the fuck up?
Do you have an iPad open with a soundboard app, Mark, or is that you, Steve, on your phone?
No, it's my phone.
Tell me, do you press that 3 times, or do you just press it once and it goes on its own?
Well, I can go like this.
If he presses this 3 times, he's gonna bring the fucking ghost of Airhorn past.
I was gonna say Beetlejuice. I can do that
If you press it 3 times. Yeah, if you press it 3 times, we'll bring back 2012 esports.
Whenever I review a beer, I do this one. Anyway, so
does that make Steve hard?
I hope it does. So your sewage pump.
Yeah, so I went downstairs Monday night to an entire basement flooded with shit piss water, which was an interesting experience. Yeah, I don't, but we dealt. It took me 3.5 hours to mop up all the shitty water, and I just smelled the sewage.
I'd love to think that you went down there in Crocs, and you're like, oh man, goddamn.
Even better, I went down there in bare feet like a fucking animal.
Well, that's better than Crocs, because then you got to throw your Crocs away, and then you're like, wait, why did I buy these in the first place?
Yeah, you never throw Crocs away. I mean, they're there so you can walk through shitty water unencumbered.
Exactly.
So we had to call a plumber, and the dude pulled what I can only describe as a sentient wad of cotton fiber out of the fucking bottom of the impeller, and it was fucking disgusting.
It was like, kill me.
It was kill me. It was not good.
Did Paige put a tampon down the toilet or something?
I don't think one tampon would have done it. It would have had to have been like 83 tampons. It was horrendous.
So you've been in that house for like 83 weeks, right?
So,
right?
Sorry, 83 months. My bad.
So you guys are no longer using cotton toilet paper. Is that what I should surmise from this?
Yeah, I think that's a good summary to make.
Yeah,
we don't even use toilet paper of any kind.
we
use our hands.
Silk sheets. They just wipe using silk sheets and flush it down the toilet.
You guys are going shit to shower now?
Yeah, absolutely. I just use my hand. I don't even wash them.
You know, that's actually a tactic in the military. They give you those little sheets, like in your MREs. They give you those little tissues. You wipe your ass with your hand and then clean your hand with the tissue in the military. That's what my dad told me. He might have been gay, but I don't know.
Dude, no, that's a real thing. My dad told me that too. So.
Yeah, but they both might have been gay, so I don't know.
You do a better job of excavating the hole with a hand too, right? Because
I feel like you probably would, but I've never done it. But I feel like it. Yeah.
Getting the folds and flaps with the fingernail, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then did your dad tell you that you pinch a little bit off of it so you can clean your fingernail out? Did he tell you that too?
What?
No.
Okay, my dad might have been gay.
My dad No, I think
Your
my
dad is
was
definitely gay.
No, hear me out. I think my dad was gay with a gay one because he's like, what you do is you take the wet nap from the MRE and you put your finger through the center of it, and then you stick your finger up your asshole.
Yeah, that's what my dad
that
said.
And then you can get up in the asshole, kind of clean out like like the beginning of the asshole, but then you use the napkin
to clean your finger off.
Pull it off your finger. Yeah.
Right. And then see the piece that your finger goes through in the wet nap, you take that little piece and you rip it off and you crumple it up and you use it to clean out the underneath of your fingernail. That's what my dad told me.
I think my dad was just walking around with a shitty fingernail, man.
I guess, man. Both of our dads were
We call that a rusty
fuck,
nail,
bro.
Steve.
Yeah, rusty
That's the
nail.
rusty
You
nail.
got all rusty nail, man. So anyway, what did you guys do after this plumber came and took the fucking shit out of your basement?
So he charged us $500. It's actually good because he totally pulled out the pump itself out of the basement.
He did pull out.
He did. I mean, I hope he did. I don't know. His jeans weren't very good from what I saw. So
Yeah, you left.
hey,
Were they
dude, he had
Levi's?
he had a front butt like you wouldn't believe.
Oh, he had a
Oh, that's called
Oh,
a
yeah.
booty. That's called a booty do.
No, it's called the front butt.
No, Taylor,
Mark.
It's called a booty do. His stomach stick
No.
out further than his booty do. Motherfucker.
All right, that's funny.
Thank you. And
Uh-oh.
then,
What happened next?
Oh, so he reseated the pump because it was not even, which was helping to... Oh, somebody's calling me. Paige is calling me. I don't know if it's because I'm shouting. Hold on.
what's up, Paige?
She's like, who are you talking to?
Hello?
Yeah, by the
She's
way,
calling
water
you upstairs.
flows down, by the way. Yeah, you can't have stuff level in
Okay.
plumbing.
Hey, can you remind me here in a few minutes to talk about
Well, see, Steve, there's
Like,
these things called pens. What do you want me to write down?
the fucking talk about
Talk
when
about
Taylor was growing up, how his if his parents like let him just like leave the house for hours at a time as like a middle schooler. It'll all make sense. Anyways, you got some shit to talk about? You want to maybe start reviewing this beer while we wait for Taylor to get back and finish his story?
No, I'm not drunk enough yet. If I was saying that, what's up, Megan? How are you? I would much rather be soaked
What's up, Megan?
by being sweaty than soaked from the rain. It's fucking awful.
Yo, I'd much rather be soaked from the rain than being soaked by fucking shitty basement.
Yeah, I'd rather be soaked by. Would you rather be soaked by a shitty basement or sweat? That's why people don't have basements anymore, by the way, Taylor.
Well, you need them in the Northeast.
For what?
Your foundation will crack, dude. That's why they the fucking ground freezes up to 6 feet because it gets so fucking cold that they had to put basements in to keep your foundation from cracking. They had to put it below the frost line.
But what about the foundation of the basement? The foundation of the basement doesn't crack?
No, because it's below the frost line.
Oh. What happens when the fucking earth gets so cold that the frost line moves down? Then all your basements are fucked, man.
Well, considering that it has never gotten that cold.
Okay,
to get to
analytical
that cold,
Steve.
Our fucking house, we'll probably have bigger fucking problems than our foundation being cracked.
There's bigger problems than the frost line, man. Also, I was talking with Mike yesterday about how sad this Nibba is, that his house that we're working at.
How is Mike? Is he still in tent prison?
No, he hasn't gone yet. And he's actually well.
How does jail work down there? Like, I guess it's just like you can come in 2 weeks and like stay for 2 weeks and that's it.
I don't know specifically. DUI is always a different thing in every state, so I don't know specifically, but
Taylor, you were telling us a story about this front butt motherfucker charging you $500.
Booty dude.
Oh yeah, so the booty do. His stomach hang out further than his booty do.
Right. Thank you. I mean, I'm just trying to make sure we get all the facts straight here. You know what I mean?
He reset the pump, which was good. He redid some of the plumbing that Paige's dad did that made it difficult to address any issues that might crop up if, in fact, the pump did fail. And, then he sagged his front butt on out of the house. And, So we couldn't shower at the house.
And he got $500 from you, which is more than any of us make in a day.
It's true. It's more than some of us make in a week. I thank you.
I thank you.
Yep.
Steve, how's the job, buddy?
The job's great, man. I'm really enjoying it. People are really cool. It's a cool spot to work. I'm just having a pretty good time. It's very strange. It's like even when we were at our absolute busiest last fucking Friday, man, it was crazy in there. It just felt like we could only do so much. Like we can only pour beer so fast out of the tap. It's like we can't speed the process up. So it just kind of felt like everything was like under control, and like no one was like, pissed off about it. And I don't know. I'm just having a good time. The people are cool. I get to like sip on some beers while I'm at work, and I'm making decent money. So. I don't know.
Oh, so you're finally getting paid?
Yeah. Well, I get a tip out every night from my tips. So.
What's the most you guys have made together?
I don't know what we've all made, but I made $140 in one night.
Oh fuck yeah!
You said 104
oh, fuck yeah.
or 140?
140.
114?
Oh fuck yeah! How was Matt Heafy? Did he remember you?
No, he was standing in line for Thai food, and we were so busy I couldn't be like yo, I wouldn't shout.
Yo, Trivium Nibba.
But
yo,
I was
Trivium Nibba. I'm that Nibba from Massachusetts, man.
I told like one of the other bartenders, I was like, yo, that was Matt Heafy for Trivium, and he's like, oh yeah, he stops in here quite often. He's got like 2 kids, et cetera, et cetera. I'm like, oh, word up. So I was
he's like, yeah, he's really cool, but he fucking sucks at bass, bro.
I was like, oh shit, so like, I'm sure he'll be back in, and I'll be like, fucking, shoot the shit with him someday, so.
Dude, you should start taking BJJ classes with him. Let him fucking choke you out with his dick.
Yeah, he needs more confidence.
Yeah.
Fucking, taekwondo classes.
Yes.
Man. Yeah, Dude, I kind of do want to take some, like, kickboxing kind of class or some shit like that.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude.
I gotta go price some shit out, but...
Dude, it's all about the cardio.
But, yeah, well, that's part of the reason I want to, like, do some shit like that. Like, if it's within a reasonable budget, because, like, I work so late, and normally I get up at, like, 11:30, so it's like I have, like, generally like half a day to fucking do shit in the morning, and I'm like, well, why don't I go like, take a class or something like that, like 2-3 times a week, get some fucking exercise.
Hell yeah.
Because I don't know.
You gotta have something to counteract all that beer you're swilling.
Yeah.
So, it's just fucking, I don't know, just lifting weights, just to lift weights has just never been my cup of tea, I guess.
Yeah.
Especially since you don't
it's
like
also
45 chunks of iron in your tea. Sorry, that was going to be funnier, but you interrupted me a little bit. Anyway, please continue.
I saw where the joke was going. It was a good joke. I appreciate that.
Chirp.
it's better when you've got a lifting partner. Like I've been going to the gym with my dad.
I can definitely
he's
see
fucking
that.
dropping weights all over the place.
No, we don't drop weights. We're not fucking assholes.
Sorry, he has Parkinson's. I'm kidding.
No, that's funny. That's fucking funny. He has Parkinson's. I'm sorry.
He's fucking dropping weight. Oh, does he like the shake weight? Oh!
Oh! Hey, joke's on you, Mark. Every weight he touches is a shake weight.
Hey! Just for fun
Shake weight doesn't work
podcast.
for him because it just
It's a
looks like
normal weight.
It
This is like a
stands
normal
still.
weight.
Damn it, it just stands still. It doesn't move. He invented the shake weight.
Dude, he counteracts the shake with his own natural shake.
It just stands still. Like the weight's just floating in midair. It's a phenomenon of science. Like he discovers fucking
Perfect
it would have been better.
equilibrium of the shake weight is Parkinson's.
He discovers perpetual motion somehow. He just picks up a shake weight and it's perpetual motion. You can get infinite energy off of it. Anyway. Sorry, Taylor.
So, Taylor,
Please
did you
continue
end
your
up
story.
seeing Endgame yet?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Oh, we can finally post memes to the meme stash again.
I thought it was fucking mediocre at best.
I thought it was
thought it was
fun, and I don't care about it at all, but I thought it was fun. But I did think the part where the Strange Nibba brought all the other Nibbas to the battlefield at the end, I was like, that's pretty fucking cool, man. And then Spider Nibba was
Strange
like, oh
Nibba.
my god, Mr. Stark. And then Iron Nibba was like, oh my god, Spider Nibba. And then they hugged. I was like, oh, that's sweet.
Yes, the collected nibbas.
My favorite meme of Endgame is the Hulk, and it's like he protect, he attack, but most importantly, he give taco back. That shit was hilarious.
That was good.
Yeah, I thought it was fun though. I'll have to watch it again because I did see like a shitty movie theater version, but I will go watch it again. I thought it was pretty fun. Like it was like pretty cool to see Captain America fight himself, and it was like, oh my god! Like Ant-Man was like, hey, that's America's ass. Like it was pretty funny.
And then he's like, that is America's ass. After he knocks himself out.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was some good one-liners in that movie for sure.
There's some really good memes already too.
I love the fucking Professor Hulk memes. That shit makes me laugh. I don't know why.
I see this as an absolute win.
Like Taylor, I saw this Professor Hulk meme. It was like a side by side of the Hulk, fucking like in the first Avengers, like fucking like raw, fucking like
Hulk
yelling.
smash.
Yeah.
And then it was like Professor Hulk from Avengers, and it was like Enter Shikari on Take the Skies versus the Spark. That shit made me laugh.
That's funny.
I saw the same template, but it was me pre-nut versus post-nut. You know what I mean?
I saw another one. It was like me as a teen listening to metal, me as an adult listening to podcasts.
Ooh, I like that.
That's a good one. That's accurate.
Plus 10 points to Steve for a good meme description. I
Plus,
like that.
yeah. I like that.
But,
Fuck.
So Taylor, I had Mark write this down when you got on.
Why
You
did
had
I
him
fucking
write
write
it
it down? If you were going to remember it, why? All right.
Because the point was...
You know, I'm so annoyed at you right now.
Okay, cool. You
No,
want
I'm
me
just
to quit
kidding.
the podcast?
No, I'm just kidding.
Sick. Cool. I'll go. I go now?
No, well, sorry.
Yesterday I went...
Steve, sorry, I am purposely interrupting you for a second real quick, and I apologize. But my whole new thing is pretending to be aggravated at people for trivial shit to see if they get the joke. Like, it's kind of like my thing now. I'm just trying to make jokes. That's all. Anyway, sorry.
That's a pretty annoying thing.
No, I know. I get off. I get off on annoying.
I
people.
I would probably stop doing that.
I get off on it though.
Yeah, Mark's like, I have 3 friends. How should I alienate them so that I have 0 friends?
No, I know, right? I do that I do that subconsciously, but I bring it to the surface by annoying jokes. Like, for instance, Taylor, our friend Mike, he compromised his Wednesday yesterday. He was supposed to be on right now, but he can't be because he made a shitty decision, and he can't be here now. So I've been relentlessly
like a DUI.
Oh yeah, not just that, but like another thing yesterday. Nothing detrimental to his like life situation. No, he just
okay. So
he knew that we were supposed to be on today, but he fucked it up for us, and so I will roast the shit out of him for it and annoy him just to make him annoyed at me. But I'm just really joking, and I don't really care overall. But it's just my thing.
But the trick is to make them think that you're fucking livid.
Yeah, for like a second, and then I'm like, hey, I'm joking, even though I'm not livid, you know?
I get that. I mean, you're still a douchebag, but I get that.
No, I know, but like last time when you got on and I was like, oh, we're talking about Endgame, you're like, I haven't seen it. I'm like, oh, get the fuck out of here then! Like, I'm not really mad, I'm just fucking around, you know?
Just like when you were like, get the fuck out of here, and I actually left. So we did it to each other.
Yeah.
I remember.
Oh,
that.
you did it back to me? Oh. So we're reciprocating.
I actually left. Yeah, we're reciprocating.
10 points to Taylor for reciprocating my shitty jokes.
We're touching tips.
Hey, let me ask you a question, Taylor. If
let me ask you.
If I don't say axe, that's like a Alabama thing. Let me ask you a question.
Let me ask you.
If you were digging, if you and a friend, your project was to dig a hole. You had to dig a hole in your yard, and you were both digging the hole, and your shovels clinked while you were both trying to dig the hole. Is that gay?
I mean, it is gay, but we're in this giant hole that we've just dug, so you can totally bludgeon your friend to death and then bury them, and no one would know.
Okay, I was just curious to what your answer is. All right, Steve, please tell a story.
More or less of a story. It's more that I want to hear Taylor's perspective on this. So, Mark and I grew up in middle school, like on a military base, right?
Yeah, that doesn't sound like any sort of fun whatsoever.
I had a lot of fun.
Well, it actually was a lot of fun because like we lived on a military.
Is that before or after the double murder?
Don't know what you're talking about.
I remember I have friends that were murdered when I was living in Oregon. This was, well, you also don't remember shit, so I never.
No, I do remember that they were murdered in the middle of the desert with a shotgun. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
Oh, did you hear about that girl from South Deerfield?
Oh yeah.
The one that worked at Big Y?
Yeah, I did.
Holy fuck, dude!
What happened to her?
I have no idea what happened, but
I don't know what happened. All I know is that she was in a double murder suicide.
That fucking sucks. She was fucking.
I saw the picture.
Maybe it was a one murder double suicide somehow.
All I know is that Evan's taking it pretty hard.
Oh, he knew her?
According to him, he did. I have no idea.
Should I text him right now, like, hey, sorry about that chick that killed herself? Or would that be kind of like...
I'm going to go with no. Please don't do that.
Remember those
I'm cringing
jokes?
so hard at the thought.
Remember those shitty jokes I was talking about a minute ago?
My fucking asshole is going to collapse into a neutron star if you do that.
You know, they just recently theorized that 2 neutron stars collided somewhere near our solar system, and that's why there's so much gold on Earth.
Hey, cool. Anyways, so back when Mark and I lived on a fucking military base, when we were kids, like, basically, like, after school, like, we were just allowed to, like, leave the house. And it's like, my parents would just be like, you know, check in every couple hours at a payphone. And
is this while you were carrying swords?
No, this was
before
much before. Yeah, we just like, you know, walked around and just like fucking like went to the local Taco Bell, like met up with other fucking friends, and just hung out at the park, and just like we're gone from the house all fucking day without parental supervision. Granted, we were like 30 miles out in the desert, so it's like we couldn't like wander off base.
Sounds quite nice.
But
Sounds
I was
like a fucking
describing.
prison.
I was describing this to to people yesterday, like just like how much freedom we had, and they were like, "Yeah, we lived in Miami. Like basically, like we were allowed to like take the bus home, and then like we weren't allowed to like leave unless someone's parents came and picked us up, or our parents dropped us off someplace." And there was like always like parental supervision kind of shit around.
I couldn't imagine that, man.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like, man, that's crazy. They were like, yeah, it wasn't until like we graduated high school that we were, given the freedom just to like get in our cars and just like disappear for an entire day or evening.
Well,
and
you
I
have
was
to.
like, shit. I was like 13, and we would just like fucking leave. Like we just be gone, like just wandering around base. And I understand that it was like, the military base had like a very, very small town kind of feel, like.
But it's not just that. It's not just the small town feel. Everyone's a government employee.
I was getting there if you'd fucking let me talk. Yeah, everyone on the base, like, there's like no pedophiles and shit like that because they're like,
there were,
well,
though.
at least they probably
there were,
but,
there aren't anymore.
But I guess like that worry was like not so much there, and this was also like like before fucking cell phones and shit like that. Like I had to fucking find a.
Yeah, what sort of trouble could you guys get yourselves into actually?
Quite a bit of trouble. I mean, considering there was like fucking tanks and shit around, like we could fucking just joyride in a fucking Humvee if we really were fucking feeling daring enough. Probably get in a shit fucking ton of trouble, but we could have done it. But anyways, I wanted to know, like, what is your take on that? Like, when you were, like, fucking in middle school, did you just, like, fuck off? Or were you, like, your parents were like, nah, like, so-and-so's got to pick you up, or we got to drop you off, or, like, fucking parental supervision?
I mean, it was never really, like, a thing in Southwick.
Did you have to call and check in on a payphone or some kind of shit like that,
No, I mean... Southwick is just a small place, man. Everybody knew everybody, and I mean, it was like a 10-minute bus ride from the school to the house. And there was never any trouble that you could, like, conceivably get into, Like, I don't know, the wildest thing that anybody ever did out of me and my brothers and I, was climbing onto the roof of the school like 3 hours after it was closed, and that was Griffin. And that's it. Like, there was no trouble to get into. There was nowhere to go. There wasn't like a dam or a reservoir or something where everybody went to hang out. Like, I don't know. It just wasn't like that in Southwick.
Yeah.
So the place where we lived when we were growing up, it was very polarizing because it was almost like Catholic school where they're telling you one thing. Like, we were basically children of military families, and so we were somewhat indoctrinated into the way of military life, but the way that Catholic schoolgirls do, we rebelled, so we tried to do the craziest shit possible, but we were an hour into the mountains in the desert of Southern California, so there's not much shit you can do, so we did what we could to rebel against the fucking indoctrination that we were born into.
Can I give an example?
Yeah, go ahead.
So, I mean, this was this is like when I came and visited Mark, after I had moved off base, like after my parents got divorced. But to give you an example, like Mark had still lived on base this entire time. This was like 3 years after I had met him.
Yeah, I lived there for 9 years on that base.
Yeah. And we found one of his dad's Roman candles one time, which it is highly illegal to have fireworks in California, let alone on
I think
a
it was
base.
probably my dad's friends that left it there, but we found it.
Yeah, we found that shit, and you know what we did? We were like, we
Set
should go
that
light
motherfucker off.
Oh, hell yeah.
Guess where we lit it off? We
Right
lit it
next
off
to the
right
fucking
next to
general's house.
5-star
Oh my
general
God.
military base. And then we fucking sprinted through the desert from the MPs. Like, we were like, oh shit. We were like running through the fucking desert. I don't remember someone chasing us, but fucking the homeboy named Keck that was with us, he was like, there was someone chasing us through the fucking desert.
Yeah, no one was chasing us.
So, I was like, all right, word up. Anyways, yeah, we like ran to his house, and we were like fucking out of breath and sweating like a motherfucker. And the wind in the desert gets so motherfucking crazy, like Haboob fucking dust storm crazy. But the wind was
Naboo
like
fucking dust storm, Tatooine.
It was.
No,
it did for real.
Haboob. You know, like the Haboob dust storms. If you don't, look it up. Anyways, yeah, it was getting that fucking windy. Like, it wasn't quite there yet, but it was getting that fucking windy. Like, category fucking 4, like, fucking winds.
Hurricane?
Like 100-mile-per-hour winds. Like, no joke. That's how crazy.
Like, if you jump off the ground, you'll fly.
Dude,
for a period of time.
Check this out, Taylor. On our fucking, and Steve should remember this, on our 8th grade graduation day, it was so windy that I grabbed a camo blanket, and now you won't know what that is, but it's like a camo blanket. It's made out of the same shit that Gore-Tex
I grabbed a
made
camo blanket. You won't know what that is, but it's a camo blanket.
No. I can't remember the correct name for it, but it's made out of the same shit that Gore-Tex is made out of. And we tied 4 ends of the blanket to our homie Coleman, and we were trying to see if he could fly through the air just by the wind, and he would jump, and the blanket tied to his arms and legs would give him a little bit of air just from the wind. And then my dad came out, and he was like, get the fucking blanket off him, get out of here, what are you doing, blah, blah, blah. And so we couldn't test it all the way. I was going to tell him to get on the roof and try it, but like, you know.
I was going to tell him to get on the roof and try it.
Another point of how polarizing the military life was when we were kids, I saw my first dead body when I was 15, and I was like, that was weird. Like,
yeah, why?
It was a guy that was burned to death. Like, yeah.
What?
I saw.
Okay,
that,
I wasn't aware that people burn people to death on military bases.
No.
I didn't know that was.
It wasn't on the military base. It was off the military base, but it was like in the desert, and it had ties to the military people and stuff. And I was like, well, that's weird. My homie Coleman was there for that one too. It was kind of far off. It must have been like 50 to 60 feet off where we saw it, but it was like a dude it was a human body, but from where we could see it looked like beef jerky. You know what I mean?
Oh, excellent! Yeah.
Yeah. So
did it
like
smell like bacon?
I couldn't tell. We were like 60 feet away.
Did it look like the the aunt and uncle at the beginning of New Hope? The fucking
oh God, Aunt Veru and Uncle Owen.
Yeah.
Now I'm forever going to associate them with that memory. Thanks, Steve.
You're welcome. Anyways, yeah, I was trying to tell you that it was like super fucking windy that night, and I remember like we had like crazy fucking like lightning storms because like the sky was so clear in the desert, you could see like fucking clouds like the thunder fucking the thunderheads like billowing like thousands and thousands of feet into the atmosphere, and it was just like crazy fucking lightning. And we set this Roman candle off. Like, we sprinted back to by the general's house, and we sprinted back to Keck's house, and we got in, and his mom's like, or no, his dad's like, "What the fuck you guys doing? Why the fuck you all sweaty and out of breath?" They're like, "Oh, nothing." Mark and I were like, "Hey, we gotta get the fuck out of here, man."
No.
Hey, I gotta go.
Guess who talked everyone out of that situation?
You did,
Keck?
right?
I did. Holla at your boy.
Keck was a little bitch boy, man.
I know. I talked everyone out of that situation. I told his dad what was up, which was a lie.
Yeah,
and he was like, all right.
What did you say? We were doing a relay race.
No, dude, I have no idea. I was like, we were trying to see who could get here the fastest and blah, blah, blah. And then I embellished being out of breath because I was the most fit out of everybody at the time. And I was like, oh yeah, that was a good race, guys. Oh, jeez. What are you guys running from? I was like, oh, no, my house is just a couple streets away. We just were trying to see who could get here the fastest. Oh, jeez. Good race, guys. Something like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that weekend was the same weekend that we all tried to drink a gallon of milk, but we couldn't get any milk, so we got like a bunch of fucking fucking Arizona teas or whatever.
Yeah, do you remember what you got? You got 7-Up.
Yeah, well, because they ran out of what you guys had, so I was trying to.
You tried to drink you drank a 12-pack of 7-Up.
Yeah.
And see who could drink it the fastest.
I threw up everywhere.
All right, check it out, Taylor. Taylor, I have to impose my fucking storytelling on this point. So, Taylor, remember how Steve was talking about those strong winds in the desert a minute ago?
Yeah.
Steve went 50 feet away from me to throw up all of his 7-Up because he couldn't hold it anymore. And the wind.
I think it was more than 50 feet. Like, I went like a good ways. Like, he
went a ways.
Yeah.
He fucking threw up, and the wind is so strong where we live. The wind carried the scent of his throw up all the way to me, and I threw up because I smelled his fucking throw up.
Oh my god!
From all the way where he was like slightly uphill. I mean, I wish I could give you a virtual tour of this place. He had the higher ground, man. I turned into the Darth Vader of vomit that night.
As Mark was throwing up, he was like, I hate you.
It's over, Bananakin. I have the high ground.
Yeah, we did a bunch of stupid shit.
But compared to, like, civilian life...
I never stole anything from the Class 6, but, like, I know, like, fucking, there was times that, like, people would get us, like, bottles from the Class 6, and they weren't paid for.
Yeah, right. Dude, I've stolen thousands of dollars and thousands upon thousands of dollars worth of stuff from Fort Owen.
I didn't want to say it, but yeah, Mark stole bottles from the Class 6.
Oh no, dude, I stole all kinds of shit. Dude, I've only stolen twice since I left there. Once was a lighter that a guy forgot to charge me, and I was like, fuck it, well, if this guy's not going to charge me for the lighter, I'll just steal it, whatever. And then another time was one time from the local Home Depot for, like, a small part to, like, a door that I needed. And I was like, fuck it. Other than that...
Check this out, Taylor. So, like, the military base is, like, so secluded. Like, we had a movie theater. They only played movies like a 7 and
movie
9.
Theater.
And they were all... And they were like...
Hold on, a movie theater, Steve. It was like a living room.
Yeah, it was yeah. Anyways, they would play movies at like 7 and 9 o'clock, and they were always like 8 months old. So like we already went an hour and a half to fucking Victorville.
Are you
seen that shit like 8 months ago?
Are you gonna talk about Starsky and Hutch?
No one ever fucking went and saw that. Saw movies there. But sometimes they would get movies like before they had hit theaters. And that's like the only time we'd go to the movies. There was a bowling alley, but us being fucking poor military kids almost never had fucking money to go bowling.
Yeah, dude, the only people that went to the bowling alley were like actual families with their 6-year-olds. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then there was one fucking shopping store called the PX on the military base.
Post Exchange.
Yeah. And all they had was, like, generic bullshit primary color, like, clothing in there. And then they had, like, a fucking card shop. That's where Marka and I would go, and we'd, like we get Yu-Gi-Oh cards and shit like that back in the day.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
Spent some time there, but, like, they didn't really sell, like, fucking video games on post.
They had shitty video games, just like movies. Like, they were 8 months behind with their video games, too.
Yeah, so we, like, spent a lot of time just, like, playing fucking hacky sack, wandering around the desert. We'd go to the Taco Bell. Too. Yeah, we'd play Kick the Can. We'd go to this Taco Bell, and we'd fuck with, like, the 17-year-olds working there. We're all, like, fucking 14, so we're annoying as fuck. And, like, these 17-year-olds that, like, fucking working at Taco Bell fucking hate us. They like fucking. There's this one dude that hated Mark and would like would see him and like be like, this is that motherfucker Mark's burrito. He'd roll it the wrong way. So like when you go to buy the burrito, it's like all sour cream. And the next bite is like all cheese. And the next bite is like all beans. And like the next bite is like all beef or whatever.
I remember that.
And Mark would be like, Mark would be like, make sure that motherfucker doesn't roll my fucking food.
Oh, that's funny.
But those are the conflicts you get into in that kind of place. You know what I mean? Just like little shit.
Because there's nothing else to argue about.
Exactly.
The amount of fucking places to eat on the military bases. There's like the chow hall that the fucking soldiers can go to, and that place fucking sucks. Like my dad took me a couple times there.
I went there once and I was like, I'm never going there again, Dad. Fuck you.
Dude, the food is so bad. Then they have like a Burger King, and then they have a Kentucky Hut, and then they had like this nice restaurant. But obviously we were kids that we couldn't afford that. And even that nice restaurant is like
it was not that good.
It's pretty liberal. It's like it's expensive, and the food is not good.
Yeah.
But it's like you can sit down.
So the primary problem with living an hour into the desert mountains is that even if the closest town was the source for your groceries, it's still an hour into the desert mountains. So nothing that you get is really in pristine condition, no matter what. Like, it's not like prime shit coming in. You know what I mean?
You worked at the grocery store there too, the commissary, man. You knew the fucking food conditions there.
Dude, I threw away more watermelons than anyone that's ever lived. I personally have thrown away more watermelons than any motherfucker that's ever lived before. I guarantee you.
Oh, I thought you were saying you threw away more watermelons than the population of the earth for a second. I mean, Mark threw away like 8 billion fucking watermelons.
It could have been. Like, it could have been that many. Where do these
watermelons keep coming from?
More humans than there are. More than there ever have been.
It could possibly be, man. I could have thrown away that many watermelons. I lost count after like the first 2 million watermelons. Like, fuck it. This is just a part of life.
Now that we painted a good picture, you can understand why our parents were like, yeah, go fuck off. Like,
play in goddamn traffic, please.
What real trouble can you fucking go and get into?
No, dude, I actually have really good parents. They love me and care about me.
And that's with you guys stretching it to the absolute limit, like trying to get yourselves killed, and you still couldn't.
Not trying to get ourselves killed, but just trying to have fun because we were so sheltered.
Boring as fuck.
I know. We were also so sheltered, man. Like, especially on that military base, like, you're so sheltered. Like,
why that one in specificity?
Because we were an hour into the mountains in the desert. Like, we live. All right, so. Okay, so
I get what you're saying. I guess I'm not.
There's not many civilians there. Like, some civilians would come there to work. But it was a military base, an army base. Everyone that lived there was either in the army, the spouse of an army member, or the child of an army member. So everyone's army. So it's all like sheltered. There's very little evil going on. You know what I mean? There's not much to be afraid of.
No mischief.
So our parents could be like, okay,
piss off.
See you at dinner. Like, dude, I remember from the age of 6 until I'd say I left the army life, I was never in my house for more than an hour or two at a time, except for sleeping. You know what I mean? Like, I was just out all day, every day. Like, I was almost never at my house because I was afforded that opportunity by my parents that chose to live that lifestyle.
Yeah.
And it was safe. You know what I mean? I wonder what it would have been like to live in a civilian environment. You know what I mean? What kind of person would I be like if I grew up in just any city that wasn't near an army base? Like, what would that be like? You know what I mean?
I don't know, Mark. I'm guessing you would have been a gangbanger.
I hope I wouldn't be. I don't think I would be. I'm too sweet. I'm too scared too. Well, no, I say that because I grew up the way I did. Maybe I would have grown up differently if I grew up in a different environment, but like we were so safe that we sought out a way to shake things up. But we didn't get too crazy because our parents are in the Army, man. We don't want to get them in trouble, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it.
It was still fun, though. I don't regret it. It was fun. I like it.
No regrets?
No, not even one letter. So, you say your civilian upbringing was mundane?
Yeah, I think all upbringings are mundane unless your parents are world travelers professionally or celebrities.
Well, I mean, my parents weren't famous, but I saw Damn, I should learn how to speak. My parents weren't mundane, but I saw Mount Rushmore, I saw the Grand Canyon, I went to Washington, D.C., you know. I've seen all kinds of shit.
Yeah, it's fun.
I wouldn't say it's mundane, but...
It's typical, like, small-town living. That's what Southwick was like, man. There was nothing to do. You had to leave, and you had to drive 15 to 20 miles if you wanted to do anything. Like, if you wanted to go to the Holyoke Mall, it's 20 miles away.
And the mall is like 4 stores, like a strip mall?
No, it was a genuine mall.
Okay.
Like, 30 to 50 shops, like, 3 floors. It was big. And that's where you would go to hang out pretty much, but that's...
Where Steve and I grew up, the closest mall was an hour and 20 minimum drive away. Hour 20 minimum. Was there ever shit like, hey, I heard Jimmy didn't pay for his stamps at the post office yesterday? Shit like that? Like small town living, like, oh my god, what is he gonna do about his post stamps that he didn't pay for yesterday? Yesterday.
No, actually, it was more drunk driving deaths. I mean, there was nothing to do in town, so the older kids would just drink and they'd get themselves killed.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn, that's fucked up.
Oh fuck.
I have a comment from Megan. She says, agreeing with Taylor on the civilian life, I grew up in a wicked remote small town where my graduating class was less than 80 students.
Wow. Yeah, I think my graduating class was about 100.
I think mine was 150 to 160, something like that. And Megan also says, lost many friends from drunk driving. That sucks, man.
Yeah,
Sorry,
the most tragic one was a set of identical twins were driving on, like, the Widowmaker Street. It was called...
oh, how apropos.
It was called...
why do they call it that?
Sheep pasture. Because it was always under construction, and there was a pretty precipitous dip and a hook, like a wicked mother of a left turn, and if you took it too fast, you were going to roll to your right, and you were going to roll into the woods, and it happened all the time because kids are idiots, especially when they get in cars and they're drinking. So this set of twins and one of their friends they were well-to-do, so they had like a mid-thousands Mustang, like before they did the redesign. And it was stupid loud, and it was really fast, and everybody was drinking, and the car flipped, and one of the twins got basically severed in half by the car. So one twin held the other twin while he died.
Oh, man.
And yeah, that happened the year before I graduated. So
wait, but you gotta elaborate further on this story.
What do you mean? That's all there is.
Well, how did one twin get severed by the car, and then the other, like...
So the one that was driving...
Give me more details, like...
The one that was driving on the driver's side, they rolled to the right of the car. So the one on the driver's side was flung from the driver's side window, going towards where the car was rolling. So he got flung into the path of the car as it was rolling.
Right.
And when the car bumped up and landed, it basically cut him in half.
Oh, man. What happened to the other twin after the incident? Did he, like, survive? Did he have injuries, go to the hospital, or what?
He did. I think he's still around. I don't know. I don't keep up on anything really. I don't have Facebook, so I don't really. The first time I saw somebody from my hometown in the last 10 years was at breakfast like 2 months ago. I saw somebody from my graduating class, and it was surreal. So I don't know how anybody's doing.
Like, did you say hi, blah, blah, blah? Whatever.
Yeah, no, I said hi because I was out with family and I had Mira with me, and she recognized me immediately, and it took me a minute to get her name, but I remembered it too. And, we sort of, did the typical,
Did you see him at like the grocery store and you're like, oh, fuck?
No.
No?
No.
Well, where did you see him?
I saw them at Partners. You know that breakfast?
Yeah, that place is good as fuck, though. I like that place.
Yeah.
Aw, man. I can't remember. I'm sorry if I don't remember, but I can't remember losing anyone close to me to drunk driving, but damn.
Yeah, I wasn't close with them or whatever, but it was, it's a small town, so everybody knows everything about it.
Yeah, I don't even have anyone that close as just an acquaintance,
Yeah.
I mean, I know people that have died that I've even been close to, but I don't know, I mean, you hear all the stories about drunk driving, and it's like, I crashed a car while drunk once, and I will never drink and get behind the wheel again because I am lucky enough.
Yeah, it's just too scary.
No, and I'm lucky enough to have not killed anyone or killed myself, so I'm just like, well, that's like a win. Like, if I had a bingo card, like, I would scratch that spot off. Like, I drunk drove and survived. You know what I mean? Like, that spot on my bingo card is scratched off. Like, I'm not doing it again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but Mark, if you drink and drive 10 times on your punch card, then you get a free latte.
Yeah, and I'll take that latte, and it won't check off another spot on my bingo card, so I'm good. I'll just leave it alone as it is. No more drinking and driving for me, man. I did it a few times. I did it a few times when I was 21. I fucked up once, and that's enough for me.
Hey, man, you got really lucky,
I did get, I honestly did get really lucky, and that was enough for me, man. It's like a light switch. To me, it's a light switch. If drinking is on, driving is off. If driving is on, then drinking is off. You know what I mean?
You had a shave so close that it woke you?
Dude, I rear-ended somebody, and luckily I was only going 40 miles an hour, and they were only going about 20 trying to make a turn. I passed out. I passed out behind the wheel, blacked out drunk.
Oh my god.
And I rear-ended somebody. Luckily I didn't.
How did you not end up in prison?
I went to jail, but for weed and not DUI.
And I didn't know you'd ever been to prison.
Oh, no, I never went to prison, man. I went to county
prison
jail.
And jail are much different.
I went to county jail for a week, man. It was actually kind of fun. I got a week off from work, and I met some really cool people, played a bunch of dominoes and shit. But I will never drink and drive again. Yeah, dude, you should go to jail, Taylor. You would probably, like, a bunch of preconceived notions that you have about the prison system will probably be alleviated. Like, you would probably actually enjoy it. You get to meet a bunch of cool people. You'll get out in like a week. You know what I mean? For a minor offense. It wasn't that bad of a time, but I did have enough time to be sober and reflect on my actions, and I was like, I'm never going to get behind the wheel of a vehicle again after taking alcohol. Like, I can't do it. Alcohol on, vehicles off. If vehicles are on, alcohol is off. Like, it's like my thing. Megan says, one of my scariest high school moments was when a schizophrenic classmate had an attack and the school went on lockdown while she ran around. Now, I need to hear this story.
Oh, yeah.
Type it
We
all
gotta
out,
get Megan
Megan.
on the podcast.
Oh,
Dude,
she's been
call
on
Megan.
She's been on once or twice. Oh, Megan, call me.
Call Megan and have her tell the story.
Tell a story, Megan. Call me and tell a story. I'm giving this 20 minutes. Give me a 20-minute story, motherfucker. Steve,
Yeah.
you took all the boxes down there.
Mhm.
You're such a
Exporting,
sweetheart.
bitch.
Aw, man. You know this green one here is Mike's. I'm gonna fill it
Yeah,
with
he's
a
got-
bunch of bullshit. Steve is such
Like
a
he'll never get
sweetheart.
back in micro.
No, he just was in yesterday. That's why he made that one. Where's the speaker button? Hi, Megan. How are you?
Hello, what is up?
Hi. In case you didn't remember, we're having a podcast with these.
No, really. I wasn't just listening.
All right. Very quickly, before you tell a story, hold on one second.
God. This can't be good.
Really quick before you tell a story.
What's your question?
Oh, I don't have a question for you. Oh, I have a lot of questions for Taylor. Hey, Taylor, if you had to eat somebody, who would it be? No, I'm kidding.
Didn't I answer that?
I know, I'm
Mark.
kidding.
Did the podcast stop? Because I guess
No.
It
it's
would be
got
helpful if I got the freaking podcast up so I could, like, hear other people.
Wait, what happened? Did the podcast stop?
Yeah, because I just got booted from the world.
Oh, fuck, man. I hope the podcast didn't stop because I just had to go pee. God damn it.
No, I just, like, was listening to you guys on my phone, and then I called. So now I'm like, oh crap, I can't hear what everybody else is saying. I should probably get that up on my computer.
Oh, yeah, pull it up. Oh, so Megan probably crashed the podcast, bro. She pulled it up on her computer, and we don't have enough bandwidth.
Oh, God.
I don't think
Steve,
that's how that works.
Steve goes pissing on the podcast again, unless that was Megan taking a hairy shit.
No, that was me.
Yeah, you
Oh.
fucking asshole.
Megan, have you ever taken
What?
a hairy shit?
Everybody poops.
Podcast. Hey, sorry, we're fucked up. I'm fucked up right now. No, Steve, we're still rolling.
Alright, cool.
Podcast.
You need to invite me back in
Podcast.
then.
Oh yeah, the Minecraft world is frozen.
Wow, this is so lagging. Holy crap.
Megan, you might have just broken our podcast.
You're
Look what you
welcome.
did.
Jesus
Sally,
Christ,
fix it.
Sally,
fix
Beats,
it.
where are you? Fix the podcast.
Should we do what we did last time and just do a group call with
No.
everybody?
I guarantee you, it's not you. Something just happened though.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Podcast.
Yeah, like it just said you saying, Megan, you just broke our podcast.
But it's still recording. It's just that the PlayStation has messed up. Whoa, this is weird.
This is so laggy.
Podcast. I don't want to do this podcast in two parts. It was so fun. All right. Fuck. I don't know what to do.
Oh, yeah, this just went down. What happened?
It just went down? Or no, but it's going to
No.
come back up. It was the blue screen?
Yeah.
Okay, it's just the application that froze. So all I have to do is go to blue screen for a minute.